With the reveal of Phantom Liberty's official trailer, its gameplay, and initial playtest by content creators and press, we've been introduced further to a new mysterious character, Songbird. Some of you may even recall that she was data mined a while back and presumed to be cut content, showing off various clothing styles and appearances. The official Cyberpunk dossier has this to say: a talented netrunner and President Meyer's right hand. There aren't many people who can keep up with her abilities. Songbird's talent makes her a valuable asset to the NUSA, one the country needs on its side to defend the nation's precarious position. Leaving her post is not an option. Now that we've seen her more personally ahead of the expansion's launch, there's still a veil of mystery surrounding her. Is she a spy, a double agent, a construct, or even a character we know from the previous tabletop RPGs created by Mike Pondsmith? For those of you who do not know, yes, Cyberpunk's story and world telling has been going on since the late 80s. 2077 is only the tip of the iceberg. So today I'll be breaking down all the possibilities in relation to Songbird. Then later on, returning to the idea of if she can actually save V. So if you'd like to keep up to date on Cyberpunk 2077's vast lore, updates, and overall future, I suggest subscribing and checking my other content. Let's begin. Within 2077, there's a classification for the best of the best. The netrunners, mercenaries, fixers, and more that stand out. Those who have reached the top and become Night City legends. They're far and few between, but that doesn't mean they're never seen, such as Rogue and Atom Smasher within our playthroughs. Well, this theory is one I've had on the back burner, and really only briefly mentioned, but I believe that Songbird could be one of the legendary netrunners of Night City, Spider Murphy. Besides the tabletop RPGs, Spider Murphy is a character we only see once during 2077. It's during our 2023 flashback, in which she helps Johnny raid the Arasaka Tower and upload the virus, Liberator, into the network, which in turn allows for Alt Cunningham to get her freedom from Arasaka. So, what leads me to the idea that Spider Murphy might be Songbird? Well, honestly, I have somewhat of a list formed as to why and how. It should be apparently obvious that this comparison is originally made on her net running capabilities. Alongside these capabilities, she has disturbing understanding of the relic. In the gameplay footage we've received so far, we can see that she is essentially broadcasting herself through it, both visually and audibly. This occurrence is listed as Relic Packet 32, so maybe even possible programming to alter the relic itself. It would definitely explain the new relic skill tree, something we've never seen or heard of. An impressive display for an NUSA netrunner. The reason this ties into Spider Murphy is that she had experience with Soul Killer and Constructs because of both Raish Bartmoss and Alt Cunningham. She was also the one to retrieve Alt Cunningham's engram from the Arasaka network. She was even capable of portioning the engram into multiple pieces and spreading it across the net to retrieve later, what could also be a similar concept to handling V's dilemma and maneuvering the relic. Though, the only follow-up to this idea is that there is a woman by the name Angel, who is identical to Alt Cunningham within the Black Dog storyline contained in Cyberpunk Red. So, this provides the possibility that Murphy did retrieve the original Alt and produced a clone body for her. While the relic is different tech, there's connections to be made, especially with Murphy being capable of accessing that data. But wait, there's more, going beyond just their similarities in skill and ties to handling engrams and Soul Killer. Because of playtesters, we are aware that Songbird's proposed name is Somi, a Korean name that means beautiful, though there could be any number of reasons this isn't her actual name. Spider Murphy's actual name, as far as the info we've been provided, is Arabella. While this name has many meanings throughout several languages, its English translation also happens to be beautiful. While both names might be different roots, Spider Murphy is no stranger to acting, seeing as her net icon is described to look nothing like her actual appearance. In Rich Bartmoss's Guide of Annette, it states, she has been known to use a rather well-endowed Japanimation style icon, which is very effective in disarming inquisitive Netwatch goons. It also doesn't look a thing like her real-life style, which serves to protect her me identity. So, obviously Spider Murphy goes to an extreme when it comes to espionage. The similarity I noticed in the dialogue of Songbird is that she seems to make light of some situations with jokes, saying some random things like, yeah, I know, Songbird the cat, life number 9 commenced, alas. A pretty jarring thing to hear from someone who just crash landed. The same style of dialogue can be seen from Spider Murphy during the 2023 raid, as well as for tabletop RPGs. It might just be me, but I felt there's a strong similarity in their dialect. I did try to look into Songbird's voice actor, but suspiciously enough, it seems like the majority of voice actors aren't quite public yet. So, it's difficult to piece that together. There's a major portion of this theory we haven't covered yet. The idea that Spider Murphy and Songbird are one and the same, yet are a digitized construct, an engram as a result of Soulkiller. Now, you might be asking, why the hell would Spider Murphy be an engram? Well, not only does she have access to Soulkiller, as well as the self-construct program that Raish mentions in his Brainware Blowout book, but it's also extremely beneficial for a netrunner to become a construct. It is an unrivaled freedom in the net without any worry for your physical body, allowing you to jump around and remain in the net as long as you want with additional control. It is also presumed that netrunners who have undergone this transformation are capable of controlling/broadcasting themselves into Borg conversions or robotic bodies that support it. There's even a netrunner described in Cyberpunk Red that seems to operate completely as an engram through the net. This is during 2045, and their name is Recluse, which alludes an obvious connection to Spider Murphy. Here is the entry. Very little is known about the hermetic netrunner living in the heart of the Combat Zone's old Japantown district. But everyone in the Combat Zone knows you don't go to the old Kai-Fu corner shopping complex unless you're looking for trouble, or you need a top-tier netrunner. For the last several years, Recluse has lived in the abandoned mini-mall, installing expensive, covert defenses and complex net structures that most edgerunners could only dream of acquiring. She only speaks with clients who can shell out big-time cash and never meets anyone in person. Recluse prefers to meet clients in the lobby of her net architecture, where she appears in the form of her icon, a tremendous brown recluse spider with an icy voice. Some say she's an ex-Netwatch agent, hiding out from her former employers. Some say she's really an AI. Some people even say Recluse is a net ghost who lives in the old net. So, seems to be extremely likely that Spider Murphy at some point was Recluse in an engrammatic form. Not only does it explain their capability to display themselves through the relic, but this actually lines up with the current timeline of Phantom Liberty. Rosalind Myers has only succeeded Elizabeth Kress as president in the late 2060s, leaving a near 15-year gap between the 2045's Recluse and President Myers' election. I mentioned earlier that Songbird is described as her right hand, though interestingly enough, there is zero mention of a Somi or Songbird within the tabletops. And further yet, Songbird at the longest has been with Myers since 2069, seeing as she would have only been sworn into service, like the trailer, at this point or after. Within the trailer, we can also find what seems to be Songbird in a full-body Militech conversion, in which seems to be a near completely different appearance than previous in the trailer. This creates the possibility that not only is Songbird broadcasting herself through the relic, or capable of changing her appearance at will, but also through a body that isn't quite her own. A possibility that Spider Murphy would very well be capable of. So, some of you may be questioning why Silverhand wouldn't be able to recognize Songbird. From what I can tell in the gameplay and trailer, Songbird is capable of basically disabling Silverhand in the relic, meaning that she may very well be purposely avoiding an interaction of Silverhand so that this connection isn't made. Though either way, if this theory is true, Silverhand might only recognize her from her dialect. There's honestly a lot of mystery behind Songbird. Definitely raises some eyebrows that despite Seeming to be a full-bore conversion in the right hand of Myers, she not only knew that they'd be shot down, but also chose to leave the scene of the crash, rather than stick around to help V and Myers. This to me calls into question her true alliances and identity, especially since Kurt Hansen and his militia group must be working with some corporal allies in shooting down the Space Force One. There's a billion and one theories you could make on who she is and what the Phantom Liberty story could lead to, but this is what I believe to be the most grounded. Either this, or she is somewhat of an apprentice to Spider-Murphy, and is more or less following her teachings and aiming toward an unknown goal by integrating herself into the NUSA. Honestly, this is the theory I put my bet on, if Songbird doesn't end up just a completely new character that really is just an intelligence analyst. However, just like always, I'd love to hear what you all have to say. Do you believe that Spider-Murphy and Songbird are one and the same? Do you even have anything to add or detract from this theory? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks to all the channel members on screen as well. We've picked up quite a few new names, and I appreciate you all being a part of this channel. I truly appreciate all the support and interaction from you members and of course, the rest of the community. I hope you all have a great week, and see you later, Chooms.